All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with lesson 5. Lesson 5 tells us I can understand exponents and recognize patterns in the number of zeros of a product when multiplying a number by powers of 10. I can also recognize patterns in the placement of the decimal point when a decimal is multiplied or divided by a power of 10. So today we're basically going to be talking about exponents, okay? Exponents are those numbers that have a little number right on top of them. So if I have 3 and I have 3 to the third power, okay, or 3 cubed, okay, 3 to the third power, this is going to equal 3 times 3 times 3, okay? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So 3 to the third power is 27. So we're going to be talking about exponents and different things that deal with exponents, okay? So we're going to skip some intro and we're going to discuss, okay? So before we get started, it says this says 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is equal to 10 to the fifth power, okay? So we see that when we add 5 groups of 10, we write 5 times 10. But when we multiply 5 copies of 10, we write 10 to the fifth power. So multiplication by 5 in the context of addition corresponds exactly to the exponent's 5 in the context of multiplication. So the little 5 we write is called an exponent and is written as a superscript, okay? That means it's smaller than the other number. The numeral 5 is written only half as tall and half as wide as the 10. And the bottom of the 5 should be halfway up the number 10. The top of the 5 can extend a little higher than the top of the 0 in 10. Why do you think we write exponents so carefully? Well, we have to write them so careful because this can get confused with that, okay? So make sure you're writing them very carefully and not sloppy so we know it's 10 to the fifth power and someone won't get it confused with 105, okay? So let's look at example 1, okay? Example 1 just tells us write each expression in exponential form, okay? Write each expression in exponential form, okay? So we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to the fifth power, okay? And that's it. We have 5 to the fifth power. That is that expression in exponential form, okay? Now we have 2 4 times, so this is going to be 2 to the fourth power, okay? Pause the video and see if you can solve 2 to the fourth power, okay? Remember, you're doing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, not 2 times 4. So the answer is not 8, okay? It is not 8. So pause the video, see if you can solve number 2. You should have paused your video, okay? And if you would have multiplied, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 2 is 16. So 2 to the fourth power is equal to 16, okay? All right, number 3, it says write each expression in expanded form, okay? Expanded form is writing each number out, okay? So 8 to the third power is going to be 8, okay, times 8 times 8, okay? And let's look at the right where it says the repeated factor is called the base and the exponent is called the power. Say the numbers in examples 1 through 5 to a partner, okay? So number 4 is 10 to the sixth power, okay? This is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, okay? That is 10 to the sixth power, okay? There's 6 10s there. That means there's going to be 6 zeros. So I already know my answer is going to have 6 zeros. This is going to be equal to 1 million, okay? Now I have g to the third power. G to the third power, okay? This is going to be G times G times G, okay? G times G times G. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys, let's go on. We're going to skip example 6 through 8 because they want us to use a calculator. So we're not going to do that. Okay, but we are going to write them in expanded form. So let's go ahead and just write them in expanded form. We aren't going to solve because it's going to take us really long. Okay, so it says write the expression in expanded form. We are not going to evaluate. Okay, so 3.8 to the fourth power. This is going to be 3.8 times 3.8 times 3.8 times 3.8. Okay, and with the calculator, we can easily solve this. We could also solve this on paper. It would just take us a pretty long time. Okay, number 7, it says write an expression in exponential form. We have 2.1 times 2.1. So this is going to be 2.1. And I'm going to go ahead and put these in parentheses, okay, to the second power. Okay. All right, now let's look at number 8. Write the expression in exponential form. We have 75 hundredths times 75 hundredths times 75 hundredths. So this is going to be 75 hundredths to the third power. And we can put this in parentheses if we like. Just because it's a decimal and it's a little bit different, okay? All right, I hope you guys are good so far. Let's keep moving. All right, we have number 9. Number 9 has 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 equals, okay? This is going to be 1/2 to the third power. Okay, and I'm going to put that in parentheses. Okay, just because it's a fraction. Okay, and then the next one says write the expression in expanded form and then evaluate. So we can solve number 9. Okay, we can solve number 9. We have 1/2 times 1/2. We just multiply across, so this is 1/4. Okay, then I'm going to multiply that by 1/2 one more time. That's going to equal 1/8. So 1/2 to the third power is also equal to 1/8. Okay, those are pretty easy. We can solve those pretty easily. It says write the expression in expanded form and then evaluate. So this is 2/3 times 2/3. We can solve for this. Okay, multiply across. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. So 2 to the third, 2/3 to the second power is equal to 4/9. Equal to 4/9. All right, so I want you to, on your own, pause the video and try to solve these, okay? When it says squared, that means to the second power, okay? So the first one is, what is the value of 5 squared? This is 5 to the second power, okay? So solve each of these, see if you can come up with the correct answer. Pause the video, see what you get. So you should have paused the video and tried to solve for these, okay? It says, what is the value of 5 squared? Remember, 5 squared is 5 to the second power. That means it's 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is equal to 25, okay? The next one, what is this value of 7 squared? Okay, 7 is 7 times 7, or 7 squared is 7 times 7. So this is going to equal 49. The next one, what is the value of 8 squared? Okay, 8 squared is 8 to the second power. 8 times 8 is equal to 64. And lastly, what is the value of 1 squared? Okay, this is 1 to the second power. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Okay? Equal to 1. Now let's talk about cubed. Okay, there's a special name for numbers raised to the third power, like I said before. When a number is raised to the third power, it is called cubed. Remember that in geometry, cubes have the same 3 dimensions: length, width, and height. Okay, so that is why it's called cube. It's talking about real cubes in real life because they have 3 dimensions. Okay, so the first one says, what is the value of 1 cubed? The value of 1 cubed. Okay, this is just 1 to the 3rd power. 1 times 1 times 1 is just going to equal 1. Okay, anything times 1 times itself is going to equal 1. Now, what is the value of 2 cubed? 2 to the 3rd power. This is 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 is our answer. What is the value of 3 cubed? We talked about this at the beginning of the lesson. This is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And what is the value of 1 squared? Okay, they're trying to trick you here. So 1 squared is still, again, 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. Okay? All right, let's move on, guys. So we have an exercise here. It says fill in the missing numbers for each row. For whole numbers and decimal bases, use a calculator to find the standard form of the number. For fraction bases, leave your answer as a fraction. Okay? So we're not going to use calculators. So most of these we can solve without a calculator, except the third one, which is pretty difficult, but we'll talk about it. Okay? So the first row, we have 3 squared, 3 to the 2nd power, an expanded form that is 3 times 3, and the standard form is the answer, which is the answer is 9. Okay? Now, we have the expanded form on the next row. They don't give us the exponential form, and they don't give us the standard form. So this is 2 multiplied 6 times. So this is 2 to the 6th power. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. And 32 times 2 is 64. Okay, so the standard form is 64. Okay, now the next one, we have 4 to the 5th power. So this is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, we're not going to take the time to multiply this, but we could. It's not very difficult. 4 times 4 is 16. Then you would multiply 16 times 4, and so on and so forth. The answer is going to come out to 1,024. Okay. Now we have 3 times 4 times, or 3/4 times 3/4. So this is 3/4. Remember, fractions and decimals should be put into parentheses to the 2nd power. Okay, and we just multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 4 is 16, and that is our answer. Okay, and next we have 1.5 times 1.5. This is going to be 1 5/10 in parentheses to the 2nd power. We can multiply this real quick. Okay, we have 25, 5, 7, add a 0, 5, and 1. Add these up, we get 5, 12, and 2. There are 2 spaces after the decimal, so we add that to our answer, and our answer is 2 and 25 hundredths. Okay, exercise 2 through 4. Okay, it says write 5 cubed in all 3 forms: exponential, expanded, and standard. Okay, so 5 cubed is 5 to the 3rd power. Expanded, it would be 5 times 5 times 5. And the standard form, okay, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. So the standard form is 125. Okay. Number 3 says write 14 and 7/10 squared in all 3 forms. So this is 14.7 7/10. Squared is to the 2nd power. In expanded form, this would be 14.7 times 14.7, okay? And we can multiply this, and we would end up with 216 and 9/100, okay? Now, number 4 says, one student thought 2 to the third power was equal to 6. Okay, so one student said 2 to the third power is equal to 6. What mistake do you think he made, and how would you help him fix his mistake? Okay, well, actually, 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. This is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so what I think he did here is he just multiplied 2 times 3. So he multiplied 2 times 3 to get 6, okay? What he should have done is written it in expanded form. Writing it in expanded form would help. Would help, okay? Definitely would help us. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So 2 to the third power is going to be equal to 8. All right, lesson summary. Exponential notation for whole number exponents. Let m be a non-zero whole number. For any number a, the expression a to the m power is the product of m factors of a. The number a is called the base, and m is called the exponent or power of a. When m is 1, the product of one factor of a just means a to the first power is equal to a. Okay, so it stays the same if it's to the first power. Raising any non-zero number a to the power of 0 is defined to be 1. Okay, so a to the 0 power equals 1. Any number to the 0 power is going to equal 1. Okay, so you have a problem set here. It says complete the table by filling in the blank cells. Okay, use a calculator when needed. You won't need a calculator. Okay, just solve these on your own. You guys know how to multiply decimals. You know how to multiply fractions. Okay, just take your time on this. Okay, you do not need to do number 3. So don't do number 3. Okay, when you are done, make a stack of them on my desk. Okay, do not turn these in to the box. Turn these in to the desk. The sub should have already told you to do so. All right, guys, have a great day. I hope you guys aren't confused. If you are, we'll talk about it more on Tuesday. Have a great day, and we will see you guys later.